to a lot of youth in different cities that you stopped at. What's your take, because I think you've been early on this, on, 21 Savage had the streets movement that he kind of has been promoting these last...
I don't even fuck like that. I am the streets, I love the streets, I come from the streets. I ain't wanna let push your ass up. Stop saying my motherfucking name. Don't think cause a nigga trying to change that.
You just heard 21 Savage snapping back after getting called out by the so-called Great Slime himself. And from the looks of it, this pointless beef is nowhere near over. We're about to break down exactly how this situation started, and why things are escalating so fast that it could turn deadly if it keeps going. So what really happened? Let me walk you through it, because this story has layers. To understand how it reached this point, we gotta rewind for a second. For a while now, 21 Savage has been on this whole leave the streets alone mission. He's been traveling city to city, speaking to young people, pushing them to stay away from gang life. On the surface, that sounds like positive energy. You can't really knock someone for trying to save lives. But here's where it gets complicated. When you come from where 21 comes from, East Atlanta, Zone 6, real street background, and then start telling others how to move, some people are gonna take offense. To them, it feels like, who put you in a position to tell the next man what path to choose? Now let's be clear, minus 21 Savage really lived that life. This isn't internet talk. He was caught slipping on his 21st birthday, got hit 6 times, and one of his close friends didn't survive. That moment is where the name 21 Savage truly comes from. It's not just a rap alias, it's a tribute. So when he speaks on leaving the streets behind, it's coming from real pain and real experience. He's seen too much, buried too many people, and now he's trying to stop the cycle before it claims more lives. And to understand where his mindset really comes from, you gotta look at his past. Back in 2013, when he was still deep in the streets, 21 lost his brother Qantas to gun violence. Not long after that, he lost his close friend Larry to the same lifestyle. These weren't random people either. These were his day ones, the ones he grew up with, the ones he genuinely loved. Losing people like that over and over will change you at your core. 21 has even spoken about how, early in his career, he used to glorify street life in his music. Tracks like No Heart and X were raw and unfiltered. Straight street talk, no apologies. But as time went on, the money came in, and the losses kept piling up. His perspective started to shift. He began to see the bigger picture. He realized he carried a responsibility, especially to the younger generation watching his every move. The whole Forget the Streets movement didn't just appear out of nowhere. It's something that's been building for years. It really picked up steam when 21 started getting more involved in his community back in Atlanta. He launched the 21 Savage Bank Account program, teaching financial literacy to kids in the hood. After that came the Leading by Example Foundation, focused on supporting youth in underserved communities. But things really changed when he stopped moving in silence. He became more outspoken in interviews and on social media. He wasn't just doing the work quietly anymore. He was directly telling young people that the gang lifestyle isn't the answer. He was saying things like, forget your set, forget your block, that stuff doesn't matter in the long run. And when you speak like that, you gotta understand how it's gonna hit in different places. In Atlanta, where 21 is from, most people accepted the message because they've seen his journey firsthand. They know he really lived that life, so they respect his right to speak on it. But once he started taking that message to other cities, Chicago, Louisiana, California, the reaction wasn't the same everywhere. Some people respected it. Ours, who had been through the wars and lost everything, understood exactly where he was coming from. But the younger generation, for the ones still active in the streets, the message didn't sit right. They felt like 21 was downplaying their struggle, like he was saying their lives didn't matter or that what they're dealing with isn't real. Now, for those who don't know, YB and 21 actually had a relationship before any of this happened. There was respect on both sides. No issues, no smoke. Back in 2019 and 2020, you could see them showing love to each other on social media. Two major artists at the top of the game, moving separately but respecting each other's lane. But there's another piece to this story that matters. When the Lil Durk and Youngboy situation started heating up, 21 was seen aligning more with Durk, even without any direct shots being fired. That alone created tension under the surface. Let me break that down real quick, because it's important to understand how things reached this point. The Durk and YB beef is one of the most serious conflicts in hip-hop right now. This isn't just music or online talk, real lives have been lost behind it. When King Von was killed in Atlanta, it poured gasoline on an already burning fire, and everything escalated from there.
Rapper King Von and his group were at Opium nightclub before making their way here to Monaco Hookah Lounge, then to the parking lot where chaos ensued.
And with 21 being from Atlanta and also being close with Durk, he was in a tricky spot. Now 21 never directly dissed YB or publicly jumped into the beef, but there were subtle moments being seen with Durk. Certain posts, certain timing that people in YB's camp could easily read as choosing a side. even if that wasn't 21's intention. So that underlying tension was already there. Then on top of that, 21 comes out pushing this whole forget the streets message. And from someone like YB's perspective, who's still deep in the middle of everything, that can come off as hypocritical. Like you were just showing support around a street conflict, and now you're telling people to leave the streets behind. Now let's talk about where Youngboy is coming from, because understanding both sides matters. YB is only 25 years old, and he's already been through more than most people experience in a lifetime. He's been shot at, stabbed, locked up multiple times, lost close friends, and fought serious cases for years. For him, the streets aren't something you can just walk away from, even if you want to. He still has ongoing situations, real threats on his life, and real loyalty to people who are still in the trenches. When you're in that position, someone saying forget the streets can feel like they're brushing off your reality. It's like, that's easy to say when you already made it out and don't have the same problems anymore. On top of that, Y has never been the type to clean up his message or play politics. He's always been raw and honest about where he stands and what he represents, and that's exactly why his fans rock with him. He doesn't sugarcoat anything, so when Y gets asked about 21's Forget the Streets movement in that recent interview, you can tell he already has emotions behind it. The interviewer brings it up, talking about how 21 has been trying to reach the youth early and spread a positive message, and why. He didn't hold back at all. "I don't care about that," YB said bluntly. "I am the streets, I love the streets, I come from the streets. I'm not on all that soft talk." When I first heard that, I was like, damn, because that wasn't just him disagreeing with the message, that was a direct shot at 21's character. He basically dismissed the entire movement as soft nonsense, and that's personal. But YB didn't stop there. He kept going, saying people are confused about what the message even means. He made it clear that protecting yourself is one thing, but at the same time, he wasn't rocking with what 21 was pushing at all. Then he dropped a line that really lit the fuse. He said something along the lines of, "That's the narrative somebody else is pushing, and I'm pushing my own narrative." Translation: forget what 21 is talking about, I'm doing me. The way YB emphasized my narrative made it clear this wasn't just a casual disagreement. This was him drawing a line in the sand, saying he fundamentally disagreed with what 21 was promoting. Once that interview dropped, the internet lost its mind. People immediately picked sides. Some were saying Y was speaking facts that you can't tell people how to live. Others rushed to defend 21, saying he was just trying to save lives and spread something positive. Twitter turned into a war zone. YB fans accused 21 of being fake woke and only pushing positivity for his image. Meanwhile, 21 fans said Y was glorifying violence and negativity. It got toxic fast, like it always does. But what really caught everyone's attention was the timing, because just when it felt like things couldn't get messier, 21 Savage responded. And this is where you have to pay close attention, because even though 21 never said YB's name, the streets knew exactly what was going on. Let me paint the picture. 21 jumped on social media looking heated. You could tell he was genuinely bothered, and he started going off about people saying his name and speaking on the streets. Technically, he was responding to Fevio Foreign, who had made comments questioning his street credibility. But the timing, right after YB's interview, come on. Everybody knows how this works. Fevio's comments were relatively minor compared to what YB had just said. So when 21 spoke out, people instantly started connecting the dots. He opened strong, saying, "Stop saying my name. Don't think because someone's trying to change that means you can play with them. Sit down somewhere." You could hear the frustration in his voice. This is someone trying to push something positive and getting criticized from every direction. But then he took it further, and this is where it felt like he was addressing more than just one person. He said, "If you're walking around with a .38, don't talk to me about the streets. If you're 35 or older and been trying to rap since you was a teenager, don't talk to me about the streets. Now." That could low-key apply to Fevio. But then 21 said something that made everybody stop and listen. He said people keep running their mouths about street stuff, calling his name over and over, Savage this, Savage that, and then reminded everyone that Savage has actually shot someone in real life. At that moment, it was clear this wasn't just internet talk anymore. Yo, that was a clear reminder to everyone. Don't get it twisted just because he's on some positive tip now. 21 has always been about action, and he wants people to remember that before they get comfortable talking reckless about him. Then he went even harder. He said, "Don't think just because I'm doing positive work that it's an open invitation to talk Savage every day, all day. Nah, this ain't that. You'll still get handled." Straight up, that's a direct warning. He's making it clear. Trying to improve doesn't mean he's soft. You can't keep poking at him without consequences. Here's where it gets deeper. 21 explained why he feels so strongly about this. And he low-key exposed a lot of rappers claiming to speak on the streets. He said, "Y'all haven't seen enough, haven't lived enough in the streets to understand how I feel about it." He made it clear, "I don't care about what your crew did. I don't care about what your hood did. I'm talking to y'all as individuals. Y'all haven't done nothing in the streets. That's the crucial distinction. 21 is pointing out that many people talking about street life haven't actually lived it. They're around it. They know people who've been through it, but they haven't personally experienced it. And because of that, they don't get why he's trying to get others out. He drove the point home. Y'all ain't cried enough. Y'all ain't lost enough. You could feel the weight in that statement. Someone who's truly buried friends. Someone who's lived that pain. Telling others they don't have the credentials to judge him. Then he hit them with the reality check. Y'all better stick to rapping. Translation: you're not built for this conversation. Stay in your lane and make music. Because when it comes to real street politics and the weight of that life, you ain't qualified. And it got even wilder. 21 called out people who claim to be street but haven't been in the mix for decades. People out here claiming gangster energy from remote spots, like Area 59, not really in the streets anymore, just talking from afar. Y'all out here claiming gangster status on Area 59 remote locations, haven't been seen in 30 years. That's 21 calling out the internet gangsters. The ones talking tough from a safe distance but ain't really active in their hoods anymore. Now here's an important point. When 21 says, how the hell can you tell someone from a whole other state what they are? You don't even know, he's hitting something real. There's always been tension in hip-hop when folks from one city try to school someone from another city. It rarely goes well. 21's from Atlanta, YB's from Baton Rouge, completely different environments, different gang politics, different street codes, different everything. But violence is violence. Death is death. Pain is pain. That stuff is universal. 21 would argue that his message transcends geography. Zooming out, this beef says a lot about hip-hop culture as a whole. This isn't just two rappers clashing, it's a deeper tension between keeping it real and evolving as a person. Hip-hop has always placed authenticity above almost everything else. So when someone like 21 Savage, built on his street credibility, starts promoting a message that seems contrary to that image, some people feel conflicted. They're asking, is he still real? Is this PR? Is he a hypocrite? Or is he genuinely trying to grow and help others? On the flip side, you have artists like Y who refuse to soften their image, no matter how rich or famous they get. That raw authenticity resonates to now. The question a lot of people ask, is 21 Savage a hypocrite? Some point out he still drops street tracks, still raps about violence, still hangs with people active in the streets, and even took sides in the Dirk YB beef. How can he turn around and say, forget the streets? 21 addressed that directly in his rant. I'm trying to change my life. I'm trying to save the streets. I'm trying to stop all this unnecessary violence. I'm trying to be part of the solution. Notice the key word, trying. He's not claiming to be perfect or completely removed from the streets. He's saying he's working to be better. And that's real life. Change doesn't happen overnight, but not everyone sees it that way. Some people want a clean break. Either you're street or you're not. No gray area. Here's the real kicker. While 21 and YB go back and forth, fans take sides, and Twitter blows up. Young kids in the hood are still dying every day. That's what gets lost in all this. 21's message, no matter how you feel about him, is ultimately about saving lives. He's trying to offer young people an alternative to a lifestyle that statistically leads to prison or death. So when 21 says, forget the streets, he's really saying, forget a system that keeps feeding young black and brown kids into a pipeline of violence, incarceration, and loss, and early death. But here's where YB and others like him have a point too. It's easy to say, forget the streets when you've already made it out, when you've got millions, when you can move your family somewhere safe, when you've got security and options. But what about the kids still stuck in the cycle? What about the people who don't have a way out yet? For them, the streets aren't a choice, it's survival. That's what YB means when he says, I am the streets. I love the streets. He's not glorifying the violence. He's showing love for where he came from, for the people still in it. And he's refusing to act like he's above it just because he's famous. What? As frustrating is that there should be a middle ground here, but neither side seems willing to meet halfway. 21 could acknowledge that his message might feel preachy to those still living that reality, while still insisting that reducing violence is worth it. Y could acknowledge that, while proud of his roots, the cycle of violence isn't sustainable and there's value in trying to break it. But in the current climate of hip-hop, where everything is about taking sides, that nuance gets lost. There's no room for complexity, no room to see both perspectives. So where do we go from here? Right now we're in a holding pattern. 21 said his piece, YB said his piece, and we wait to see if this escalates or fades. The danger is that this could turn into something more than words. Hip-hop has seen too many cases where verbal sparring spills into real-life violence. That would be the ultimate irony, a beef that started over 21 trying to reduce street violence, actually creating more violence. But there's also a chance it just cools off. Neither of them really has anything to gain from pushing it further. They both have too much to lose. The truth is, hip-hop needs both perspectives. We need people like 21 who are willing to take a stand and push for change. And we need people like YB who refuse to sugarcoat the harsh realities that people are still living together. These perspectives give the culture depth and keep it real. The problem is when these perspectives clash instead of complementing each other, when it turns into a beef instead of a dialogue. And that's the state of hip-hop right now, fam. We can't even agree on whether telling people to stop killing each other is a good thing. That's how deep this street stuff runs. But here's what's clear. 21 Savage stood firm on his message. He's not backing down, no matter who has an issue with it. At the same time, NBA Youngboy made it clear he isn't changing for anyone he's going to keep representing the streets his way. Only time will tell if this beef escalates or if they find a way to coexist, despite their different philosophies. But one thing is certain, the conversation is happening now. And that's important, whether you agree with 21's approach or not. At the end of the day, both of them are speaking their truth. 21 speaks from the perspective of someone who made it out and doesn't want others to go through what he went through. Y speaks from the perspective of someone still navigating the streets. Maybe instead of arguing about who's right, we should be asking how to take the best from both perspectives and actually make a difference. How do we honor where we come from while still striving for something better? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think 21 is right for pushing the Forget the Streets movement? Or is YB right that you can't tell another man how to live? Do you think this beef will escalate, or will they squash it? Hit that like button and subscribe, because you know we're covering all the hip-hop drama as it unfolds. This story is far from over, trust me. Until next time, stay safe out there. And remember, whether you're with the streets or against them, the goal is always the same: make it out alive. Peace.